surgery, and I thought I would do a quick how-to video on how I do apply my 3D Fiber Lash Mascara. There's just a few things that I recommend to have on hand for those of you who have hooded eyes such as myself. I get kind of messy when I put it on, so I recommend having a few of these guys, Q-tips to do some cleanup afterwards. What I do beforehand as well is I try to curl my lashes beforehand. That way I can at least see where my lashes are, because most of the time I cannot. Also, having this handy dandy tool that we sell, the brush, the eyebrow brush and comb, does help to eliminate any clumps. Also, I have some that are really tiny that like to get into my eyeball, so this helps me lift those up as well. That way I don't get any mascara fibers in my eye, which can happen. I'm not gonna lie, there are people who do get it in their eyes. That's when they either don't use enough gel or they get a little carried away with the fibers. I used to do that at first. Also, the last tip, the last thing I use is a blow dryer on the cool setting. Always use the cool setting so you don't dry your eyes. And that really gets the curl, especially for those of us who have the straight eyelashes. It gets that curl since the mascara does not have a wax factor to actually get the curl like some of those other ones out there. So we'll go ahead and get started. First we're going to do is curl them. It's usually what I like to start with, because like I said, I can't see my lashes otherwise if I do not curl them. And then have both of them ready. What I like to do is have both of them open. The long tube is the gel, and then the short tube is the fibers. So I usually like to put 2 coats of gel first. The first coat, just so, like I was saying earlier, I can see what's going on, because otherwise I can't see my lashes. See, you can even see a little bit of the difference there. See how straight mine normally are? Then I put that. So usually while the other one's drying, I'll go ahead and put it on the other eye. Oh, I forgot to curl that one, so you can still go back and curl it, because to me it makes a whole bit of difference. Some presenters recommend not to, but everybody's eyelashes are different. You have to find what works for you, play with it. See if curling before or after. I can't curl after. I don't like the way they look after, so I do it before. So what I do is I let them dry a little bit, and like I said, I put another layer. And what you want to do is you want to put the fibers right after, because you want the gel to be still kind of wet. That way you can see the length come up here. And don't go all the way down to your lash line. Go about halfway and then go up. And you'll see the difference here. I'll show you here in a moment. And you don't want to put too much. When you start noticing the clumps, so you see there? When you start noticing the clumps, you know that's about what you need on your first coat. And you can always put more coats to get it longer. So now I'm sealing with the gel. And that prevents the fibers from falling in your eyes. Now, if you're going out through, like I said, you have to play with it. So as you're going throughout your day, if you notice you're getting fibers, along your, the lower lash line, like around here, on your cheek, that's because you didn't put enough gel to seal it in. You have more fibers than gel to seal it in, so you can always put more. That's where the blow dryer comes in handy too, because If you have any clumps or excess fibers, it blows them away. And that way you can see everything there. And look, let's use the magical blow dryer. It's gonna be kind of loud, sorry. Yeah, if you have it on, it helps to have your blow dryer plugged in, by the way. And you can see compared to that side, you can see how they flared out and how thick they look now. So let me kind of zoom in here. So you can see that. And then you can build by putting more layers. As far as that is concerned, you know, to make them longer, to make them thicker. This is pretty much, I usually just use one coat if I'm just going to be running around all day. But if I'm going to be going out or doing events, I'll put a tipping layer, which you just put some on the very tips, as far as the gel first, of course. Put some on the very tips, that way you can really make them longer. Again, put the gel on top. I'm kind of paranoid about getting things in my eye. I'm allergic to a lot of stuff. I have really bad allergies, so I tend to put a lot of gel. That's usually the first thing I run out of. I don't really run out of the fibers, it's the gel that I run out of. And also too, if you notice your gel's getting a little thick, which it can because obviously you're going to be getting some fibers in it, you can use, I've seen people use eye drops like saline to loosen the fibers. If it's during the winter, you can use your blow dryer or put them in a cup of hot water. You can also use the rose water. That's one of the things I do. I spray the brush with rose water and then just, you know, kind of shake it around. And that helps. Let me use the blow dryer again. Compared to that one, so you can see. You can see how they look. So they look pretty awesome. I've never been the girly girl type, so this is pretty easy to use. I use this to kind of get any extra clumps I see. And voila, that's one eye with it. This one, as you saw, just had the gel. So now I look like I actually have eyelashes. It's me, unfortunately. I was not born with the long ones. My kids have very beautiful long eyelashes and they get that from their dad. I don't know, what is it, guys? Why do they have to have long eyelashes? But that's how they were born. So yeah, so that's kind of how I do my 3D Fiber Lash Mascara every day. Again, try to have it both in your hands at once when you're doing it. Play with it, see what works for you. I actually didn't make a mess this time, amazingly. I usually have stuff everywhere. So I'm getting a phone call, so it looks like I gotta go. But yes, comment below or call me, text me, whatever, if you have any questions.